What up, y'all? What's up? I'm your host with the most who have a toast. It is Leader Johnson, man. Holla at y'all, man. This is Folly the Sports on Hardcore Sports Network. What's going on? It's today. Today is the day. Draft time, man. A lot of things are going on. Eagles picking at number 23 in the first round. Eagles got picks. It's on, man. Listen, and things have to be understood. They have to be understood. AJ Brown is gone. All right. If it's surprise he back, it's surprise he back. I'm saying if he even listen, I'm gonna put it like this: even if by some odd reason that AJ Brown um is an Eagle after June 1st, right? Say that happens, right? He's gone next year. All this speculation in terms of knowing who AJ Brown is with his emotions, this is gonna put him out because only Adam Schefter basically a couple of days came out and reconfirmed that the New England Patriots are probably going to very likely to trade for him. You know what that says? That means they have been trying to get him very hard, and the Eagles are listening. And the Eagles are telling them what they want. And the Eagles are liking what they hear, but it's other things they want to finalize it. And the one thing that's going to finalize it, because nothing is a handshake and agreement. Nothing is written in stone. But the one thing they want is they want what they not only did they say a first round pick, a second round pick, and a player. That's the first thing they said to even listen. So y'all gotta listen to what this is going on as. I mean, that had to be the first thing that came out. Like, listen, that means they came with the first round pick, and they came with basically 80% of what's going on. The first round pick is in there. It's no question. Everybody was like, it's probably gonna be a second round. No. Did you hear what Howie Roseman said? He said, to even listen to you talk, we got to hear first, second round pick, and a player. So that first thing that got to come in is the first round pick. And then you can say, okay, what if I give you a third? And the first has to come first. The head has to come in. All right. Then it has to be a player, or you have to give them picks. You have to substitute something. Say, what if I give you first round is going to be the first thing that's taken because that's the first thing that was said. That's how that goes. And now Adam Schefter comes out and says very likely to happen, which means it's very close to happening or probably going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, it's going to be it's other trades in the works. This is why Adam Schefter came and reconfirmed this. There are going to be other trades along with just say the Patriots don't. That means they are listening to other offers and they have heard other offers and they have liked most of them. And a first round pick is coming with all of them. When the Rams talked, it wasn't no, hey, we're going to give you this. No. The reason why you heard about the Rams is because they had their first round pick. That means the Eagles, listen, things are not being said to as things Eagles are listening to unless they are actually listening to it. So the first round pick is the first thing that's mentioned. That's the first thing that has to be on the table. Or he's not even listening. He's going to hang up the phone. Then you can start talking about what you're not going to do. But the first thing that got to come through is the first round pick. I don't know why y'all didn't think that was going to happen. I don't even understand what y'all talking about, especially with Jalen Waddle got. The market changed, even if a person thought about it. It changed. You wasn't even going to get an A.J. Brown. But one thing is for sure, two things are for certain. The Patriots really want him. I mean, there's people that want A.J. Brown. And I was just listening to Speakeasy with T.J. Humanzada, shout out, and man, Acho and the other guys there, man. What do you mean? It's the things they were saying. He was saying that one thing he said that was right was he just wanted to listen. Everybody going crazy, having these emotions about AJ Brown, man. That's a little crazy. That's a little crazy because AJ Brown, he wants to go where he wants to go, and I was trying to tell this on Broad Street Bitch State Leader Edition. I was like, listen, man. So my boy Cool K, listen, this is I'm not wanting him to go, but it was keep bubbling, was keep circling. And I was already saying that toward the end of last season. I'm gonna tell y'all, listen, I was saying this because it was rumors and that he wouldn't have. I like, listen, you keep creating all this turmoil, you keep going to Instagram, and y'all was agreeing with it. And so I don't really see how the Eagle fans is going to a point where they're like, oh, We don't like you no more. All this mess. Shout out to Key, Real Mama Eagle. Y'all go follow her. Shout out to Chase Senior. Shout out to Thomas R. Peterson. Follow him on Twitter, man. He's a good Eagle analyst types. By podcasting, you're gonna get all the news. Chase Senior is with Eagles Chat now. Chase Senior is more realistic. He's a very realistic guy. Very realistic guy, man. And he was trying to tell the Eagle fans too, and they was going at him. No, he don't want to go nowhere. Look what he said. Y'all don't understand. Y'all gonna see when you're a fan, you get lost and you get emotional. But they're not gonna tell you the truth. They're not gonna tell you the truth. They're not gonna tell you the actual truth. What they're trying to tell you is something that keeps the media and the fans out of it. And then the media ends up finding up the secret stuff, and y'all don't believe them because they're inside. But that Howie Roseman, AJ Brown, just telling you what it's not trying to make things bubble over. They're not trying to make it drama, but they talking in the background. I mean, AJ Brown didn't betray the Eagles. He just wanted to leave. How did he? That's a powerful word. Shout out to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson taking up, Darius Slay taking up for Jalen Hurts. There's been a lot of Eagles taking up. I mean, it's just good showing that green unity. But I just want to say this. AJ Brown, how did he turn on the Eagles? I just want to know how he turned on the Eagles. That's a little crazy. Like, turn on the Eagles. He abandoned us. Like, y'all, that's emotional. All that man want to do is leave. He don't like Jalen Hurts, well, not personally, but he just feel like Jalen Hurts is not the best quarterback for him right now. And I'm gonna tell you why which is crazy. I'm not saying that on a calm note, but as a fan, I'm like, you crazy. But as an analyst, I'm like, all right, whatever, man. Okay. That's basically what it is. He want another quarterback, but this is the thing about AJ Brown I don't agree with. AJ Brown, the Eagles last year, when he started whining about not getting the ball, were trying to force him the ball. It really messed their offense up. We want to talk about Jalen Hurts. Let's talk about how the Eagles tried to force AJ Brown the ball, and it was passes he was dropping. And then people were saying things like, well, the way Jalen Hurts is throwing it, or well, maybe he just don't want to catch the ball. Where was that's what I'm talking about. Like, I was seeing this from the gate. I was seeing the emotion. We're talking to the coaches. I said, man, this is not looking good, man. This is not looking good. It's not looking good. So this is what's gonna happen. I want the people to get used to this if it happened, to be ready for it. Because it just looked like too much turmoil. They were talking about it too much. They were talking about it too much, man. Like, seriously, they were actually talking about it way too much. And I was like, oh, this is a real rumor. And all the analysts were saying it. Nobody was just hearing it from another analyst and then they weren't paying attention to it or weren't milking the news. Because when analysts hear when writers or analysts hear other news, they domino effect it, what I call it. They go and they tell it. In their own way, they tell it. Because it's something that's relevant. They find out how relevant it is. Or they tell you, look, I heard this about this. It's they let you know if it's fake or if it's something that just said, but if it's something that's been said and they're going to put it out there. AJ Brown had put out 4 or 5 teams to his agent that he wanted to be traded to. When that happened, I said, oh, come on. So, all right, man, listen, that's going down. It's done. It's done. Until it don't happen now. You got to roll with it because Shefty reported when he's the anchor of this news thing, man. It's like Stephen A. Smith, period. Like, if he one of them type of guys, and he say something, he reports something that's in stone, all right, until it's not in stone. All right, so let's get to this, man. The draft is big. We talking about the 23rd pick, all right? When I come back, man, we're going to go on a little break. When I come back, we're going to talk more about what the first round looked like. The first round. The first round is it, and it's kind of like different. It's going to be receiver, offensive tackle, or it got to be an elite guy that's probably pound for pound the best because they love getting the best prospect overall. But it got to be a guy that's going to fit them. So one thing about the Eagles, the roster is set up the way they don't have needs. And I'm gonna let y'all know about that when we come back, man. I'm gonna let y'all know about the first round. What we doing, man. We'll get back on follow. Yo, welcome back. Welcome back. Follow the sports. Listen, it's draft day, April 23rd to 25th, man. This is the first day. Tomorrow, the second, third, and fourth round. And on the 25th, it'll be the fourth, fifth, and the fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds. So this is how it's going down. This is day one to be the first round. There used to be a time when the draft was when it was like the first it was like the first two rounds was the first day. It was different, man. But I watched the draft, been watching it for a minute, and but now I've been covering it, been an analyst, been fortunate enough for 10 years to be an analyst. And so now here we go. First round. Let's go big. Let's go big, y'all, Eagle fans. The name y'all been waiting to hear about, because now it's even more relevant. Let's talk about that one. The name that y'all been wanting to hear the whole time is a name we gonna first mention on. And this is to me, to be real, it might not be my first, but it's definitely the second guy. No question. We talking about Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson, 6'2", man, super hands, good speed, and he showed out on his pro day. I thought he was. Man, he's a big time. The Eagles, they want to trade up for him. They want to be aggressive in trading up for him. When they have someone they like, everybody knows in the draft, that's the guy they usually go for. With Jalen Carter, they went up for Devontae Smith. They got Jahad Campbell. Jahad Campbell, I don't remember him coming in for a visit at all. Sometimes the Eagles do that. They did that with Andre Dillard. They who didn't turn out to be that, but we had guys that didn't come up for a visit that they draft because they're all about the best player available. So this is how we're going right now. Jordan Tyson is the first guy you're looking at. They're going at. You're looking at the fifth pick with the Giants. I've heard that high, but the Giants are looking at Caleb Downs more at the fifth pick. Everybody's certified on Caleb Downs, the big time safety. We'll talk about him too. Also, you're looking at number 6 pick, which is Cleveland. And they want to trade down. Come back to them. The 7th pick is the Redskins. I mean, the Commanders. I'm sorry. I apologize. The Commanders. The Commanders also are looking at receiver, but maybe a pick that they might not need that big top guy. We're going to see what happens. The 8th pick is the Saints. The 9th pick is the Chiefs. And the 10th pick is the Giants. Oh, and like any of them guys can get receivers. Everybody think about the Jordan Tyson's also been talked about the Chiefs getting a receiver. Of course, Kenyon Sadiq, the Chiefs at number 9. You look at number 8, the Saints want to trade out. The Saints want to move up or trade down. A lot of them thinking about the 3rd pick to get Carnell Tate. The Saints and the Chiefs are 2 rumored teams that want to move up to 3 to get Carnell Tate. The Jordan Tyson is also the Giants like him, and everyone knows that the Commanders need a receiver. So in them 8 pick, but the Saints are the one team that could move down, that could straight up move down or just move up, one or the other. The Saints are one of them teams that thinking about moving up. They want more picks, so that's big key there. Super key right there is the Eagles moving up. Now, the guys I'm thinking about, listen, the first I'm going to come out, Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate is people, you're thinking that people wanting him at 3. They want him at 3 because they don't want him to move there, because once he gets to the other guys, they're not drafting 4 or 5. Then we get to 6. It's teams that want to move up to 3, so nobody has a chance at 6. And then people already know that the Eagles, everybody knows the Eagles are looking for they should know their blueprint. So they should go into the draft and be like, all right, who we trying to cut off? Because the Eagles cut you off. Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. They cut the Cowboys off. They cut they cut you off. They cut you off. Jahad Campbell, they cut you off. Jalen Carter, they cut you off. Howie is known for this. So he's going to go after Jordan Tyson. Right. But if Carnell Tate sneaks to 6, I can see it happening. Cleveland Browns want to move out. That's the key. Number 6 wants to move out. That's why the Chiefs and them, they want to move up because if they can get Carnell Tate, that's the possibility. But that's going to have to be something. You have to give up a bag for that. The Eagles are ready to give up whatever because they don't care. Listen, they can keep these picks as long as they make their roster good now. So Carnell Tate, listen, you haven't heard about a visit or nothing. But he's the best receiver in the draft. So it could be a Jahad Campbell situation. It could be a best player available. That they're with that. They're so with it. And so they probably didn't. You don't bring in Carnell Tate because you're not. The highest prospect you're aiming for is between Sadiq and Jordan Tyson. And I told people about the early parts of draft visits. Don't pay attention to the first ones. Pay attention to them, but toward the last one, those are the more coveted guys. And Sadiq has been the guy that's been mentioned even before this draft. So another thing with Sadiq can fall as far as 18. If he falls to 15, if they don't get Tyson or Tate, look for Sadiq to be a target 1 through 15. 1 through 15. They won't let him get to 18, I don't think. I think they'll trade all the way up to 15, and they would get Kenyon Sadiq. I think that's going to happen. But I'm going to tell you this. If it get to 18 and they don't see none of the 3 receivers, say they don't trade up to 15, and they don't see none of the 3, they're going offensive line. That's it. If it gets down to that point where 18, you get to the 18th pick and you don't see the Eagles do anything, offensive lineman could be traded for right there. Right there. I mean, and let's talk about some of those guys. First we're going to go to the big guy. Boom. Carnell Tate could be an Eagle, man. This is not far-fetched. This is not far-fetched right here. Carnell Tate could be an Eagle. 6'3", super hands. Him and Tyson got the best hands out of the receivers. There's some good receivers. Amari Cooper Jr. is a good receiver. I think the only other guys you're going to get as pass catchers in the first round is going to be Amari Cooper Jr., besides Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate. You're talking about Amari Cooper Jr. and Kenyon Sadiq. Those are the guys. Everybody else, KC, no. Mekhi Lemon is too small. They want a big guy because they want somebody to replace A.J. Brown, so they're looking for that type of target. That's why Chris Bell got brought in for a visit. Chris Bell, 6'2". He's been working out good. People called him a first-round pick before it went down. So he's looking at his tape, looking at what he did at Louisville last year, saw him play. Listen, he has it. He does have it, but he's more of a second-round guy. Like the guys that are special, I'm not saying he can't grow to be a better NFL player. These guys, I'm not saying he can't grow to be a better NFL player than these guys. I'm saying as right now, the better talent is Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate. It's bar none. And Chris Bell has it. He could be a Pro Bowler. You're looking at Brandon Marshall type of guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown type guy. Like, that's how Chris Bell can affect the game, and that could another Pro Bowl receiver. You're putting somebody on a lot of pressure when you're talking about them being A.J. Brown. It can't be A.J. Like, you can't say you're looking for if you're looking for the next A.J. Brown, it's Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson. Those type of guys have that type of talent because A.J. Brown wasn't even drafted in the first round. But they knew he would be a number 1 receiver coming out of Ole Miss. He was already compared to be that. But you're looking at this draft. It's not a wide receiver deep class. People say whoever's saying it is crazy. It's not a deep wide receiver class. Some talented receivers, people that can be Pro Bowlers. It's not a deep class. It's not that type of class. It's not a strong class. But at the top, especially the first, after Chris Bell, everyone's like, oh, okay, you got Chris Bell, Mekhi Lemon. Okay. Everybody else, you got some, Denzel Boston is he's talented. He's talented. He's good. Okay, but Casey Conception, they're good. They have talent, but they're not those type of guys. The guys you draft and you have a good draft class and they're talented, and you look for them to produce, but you don't look for them to have that talent. Chris Bell is the last of the and he's still second round. You could take a chance with him in first round, but no. Chris Bell is as high as the second round, top 10, early second round pick. That's how good Chris Bell is. Right now, that's where he is. But he has the talent to be the top 10 player in this draft. And I'm saying that for real. He has the talent to be a top 10 player in this draft. And 10 years later, 10 years later, you look, he could be a number one receiver for anybody. But right now, that's not where he's at. So you go through and you look at other guys, and I want to talk about Kenyon Sadiq. Kenyon Sadiq, you know why he's important? You know why Kenyon Sadiq is important? Because Dallas Goedert is on the one. Dallas Goedert is a question because he's on a 1-year deal. And even if the crazy part is this, that can happen. I don't think nobody's looking at this. Dallas Goedert can get re-signed, and then they because Deshaun Manion's offense has already been profiled as using multiple tight ends. You're using multiple tight ends. So back to the Eagles thing, because the Eagles, they got away from that. With Patullo's defense, you didn't see Calcaterra catching the ball at least. You heard about the blocking went down. You wasn't catching the ball. I mean, it was crazy. Calcaterra wasn't catching the ball, man. Like we had Dallas Goedert, he was doing this thing, but he could have had a better season than that. It was just different. Sean Mannion is a guy they're talking about using multiple players at receiver. You're going to see the third receiver. That's one thing that wasn't used in the last couple of years. Zacchaeus, Jahan Dotson, the third receiver has not been used to its credit, to the best of his capability. Last time we had that was Nelson Aguilar. And before that, it was Jason Devine. Third receiver is important if you got it. I mean, if you got it, you got a good one, use it. So, but Mannion's all about spreading the ball, spreading the offense. And I think it's going to make it, he's a quarterback, a former quarterback, NFL pro quarterback, and it's going to be so great for Jalen. But looking at the receivers, there we go. I was talking to Cool Cat about who would be the number 2 receiver, and let's talk about that. Number 2 receiver is going to be right now coming in. If they get one of the top guys in this draft, and we're going to go back to Kenyon Sadiq, if they get one of the top guys in this draft, and I'm talking about Tyson and Tate, then they're going to be number 2. Say what you want. Look where they're going to trade up to. You think they're not going to start from the gate? Third guy is going to be Wicks. Everything's written in stone. Brown going to be number 3, number 4, man. That's where it's at. Unless Brown coming in looks totally better than the receiver, because it's going to be in camp if he look that bad. But no, Brown's going to be number 4. I think Brown just saw it. Like, oh, my God. But if they go and they draft Kenyon Sadiq, then he's number 2. Kenyon Sadiq, just check this out. They're talking about using multiple tight ends. Think about that offense with Dallas Goedert and Kenyon Sadiq. And then you got Calcaterra at number 3, or who wins that between Stone Smart, Calcaterra, and Johnny Munt. And they're going to use those 3 tight ends, man. And Kenyon Sadiq is a first-round pick. He's going to get used super. He's a super talent. Dynamic. Put Hollywood Brown fast, take the top off. The man, he can catch he can have 1,000-yard seasons. He's definitely a dynamic weapon. Then you talk about Wicks. Then you still got Elijah Moore now. Now the fight for 4 could be Elijah Moore, because that's going to be a fight. Elijah Moore, Darius Cooper, and Johnny Wilson, that's going to be a good fight. It's some talent now. Danny Gray going to come back he was about to make the team before he went down. This guy's talented. These guys are good. We're going to see a practice squad with some talent at receiver on it. But on the roster itself, you got depth, and you need that for Jalen Hurts now that A.J. Brown is gone. This is what I'm telling people. Getting Elijah Moore, getting Dontavian Wicks, getting Hollywood Brown is all replacing A.J. Brown. All these guys are productive receivers, explosive receivers, dynamic receivers. They've all of them are dynamic, man. Dynamic means you're explosive. You're using that in the Hall of Fame term. You're using that in the Hall of Fame term. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when people looking at that, you're using that in the Hall of Fame term if you don't think dynamic it don't have to be a Pro Bowler, man. It could be a guy that's explosive on the football field. And I think they got that. They got that. I mean, it's like, I'm trying to coexist with the fans. Some people is like, oh, God, we lost A.J. Brown. And he ain't even traded yet, right? He's not even traded yet, all right? But he's going to get traded. I'm just telling y'all, man. But I'm already speaking what's going down. They already prepared for it. And there's too many receivers. How could y'all even feel comfortable with all them receivers right there? Like y'all should have been trying to get used to this. But anyway, you look at the receivers. Johnny Wilson is going to be another guy. Him and Darius Cooper. I'm more high on Darius Cooper than a lot of people. I'm very high on Darius Cooper. Super high on Darius Cooper. We're going to see where that goes. You know, I mean, this is going to be something to look at. And if they get the first round pick, Cooper's going to have he's not going to be able to take that second spot unless this guy's just trash. But if they get a second round receiver, Cooper could take that. He could battle in camp and take that spot because they don't have money on a second receiver. If they get him out the first round, they got money on him. If they get Kenyon Sadiq, I'm telling you, they're going to get another receiver in the draft. It's going to be like you look at guys like Caleb Douglas and Deshaun Stribling, guys like that. They're going to get a receiver. They're going to look at their board. They're going to get a receiver. You know, they could even get Pena out of Penn State. And they brought him in, talked to him. Just watch. Just watch this draft. I still think they're going to draft a tight end regardless if they get Kenyon Sadiq in the first round. They're going to draft a side end. Oscar Delp is a guy out there. Max Clare is a guy out there. There's guys out there that they could get. I think they're going to get another tight end. They got to get a tight end. If they don't draft a tight end in the first round, and if they draft a tight end, if they draft Kenyon Sadiq in the first round, I think they're going to draft a receiver in the second round. If Chris Bell is there, and able to grab him, they'll grab him in the second round, man. They'll grab Kenyon Sadiq and Chris Bell. That's a great draft already. Because it's the reason they brought in Marcus Bell. They brought in Travis Burke. It's a reason why they brought guys like that in. They brought guys like that in because they brought in a lot of offensive lineman visits, the most offensive linemen. So you know they're going to, they're going to get, their whole draft. They're going to get an offensive line. They're definitely going to get it. But that's going to be like in the third day or the second day if they don't go in the first round. We got Cool Cat entering the studio, man.
Yeah, because it's on my channel, so
yeah.
I guess we're doing an impromptu edition of Blitz Take Leader edition. So
we on Follow Leader Sports. You see the brand, so you are incorporated in Follow Leader Sports. You know what I'm saying? So listen, you're coming in here. We talking about the draft, the Eagles. We talking about the first pick. The first guy we're gonna talk about was Carnell Tate. That's the first guy we looked at to go in and get because that could be the high guy. Now, Carnell Tate, you got the Browns at number 6. You got the Commanders at number 7. You got the Saints at number 8. Number 10 is the Giants. And number 9 is the Chiefs. All these guys want receivers. And he is projected for the Browns. And we all know that Howie Roseman been talking to Andrew Berry. We all know that. Everybody think Myles Garrett, but y'all don't understand. These guys are cool. And you talking about Carnell Tate being there, and the rumor is the Browns were to trade down. That just started coming out after the A.J. Brown stuff. All of a sudden, the Browns want to trade down. We know that the Chiefs want to trade to number 3 to get Carnell Tate. They want to move up. That's where they want to come from 9 and up. Also, it's another team, number 8, the Saints want to move down. So that's why people was like, to get Jordan Tyson, they will trade up to 8 to get the Saints. And then we talking about the Browns. It's real ironic that they will trade down. So that could possibly be a Carnell Tate thing. So they're going to go for why I say Carnell Tate and they haven't brought him in for a visit? Because the Eagles are always about the best player available. Always about best player. If he's there, they're going to grab him. And it's going that is the move on from A.J. Brown. Jordan Tyson. Another one. Jordan Tyson at number 8 is another guy that we going to have. Jordan Tyson will be that guy. Listen, everybody like him. Now he's moving up. At first he didn't do it. At this pro day, everybody on him. And the Giants like him. But number 5 for the Giants, Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is their guy. Everybody talking about Caleb Downs. But some people think they might take Jordan Tyson. But they're so high on Caleb Downs. But the Eagles also listen, people are starting to rumor the Eagles with Caleb Downs. Because if Caleb Downs falls below number 5, the Eagles could make a reach. And he's the best. He's one of those best player available guys. And you put him in their safety, there we go. There we go. So that could happen, but I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think the Giants are going to go for Caleb Downs because they need that on defense. Looking at our secondary, they're going to look at the NFC East, and they're going to want to get better. They are going to get Caleb Downs. All right. Now we're talking about another guy. Another guy here, Kyle Pitts. This is a big name here because if Kyle Pitts, if the Eagles don't take Kenyon Sadiq is the third guy. If they fall, if Kenyon Sadiq falls to 15, as high as 15 and as low as 18.
You really think we're going to get Kyle Pitts, leader? You really think this?
It could happen. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen.
You really think the Falcons is going to trade their best player to the Philadelphia Eagles? If that happens, you deserve an award.
Have you not heard of this? That Kyle Pitts is up for grabs? Why would they not trade him? That's the first thing. Tell me, why would they not trade him to the Eagles? Would they have some type of go against the Eagles while they were the ex-Super Bowl champions?
They better ask for a whole lot.
Didn't I tell you about AJ Brown? When I tell you about stuff, you got to know the Eagles can get anybody. It's just how bad they want to get anybody. The salary cap is set up. They got picks. They can get anybody. They could dance in it. They could dance in the rain and not get wet. That's the Eagles. That's Howie Roseman. Now, looking at Kyle Pitts, you're talking about if they don't draft Kenyon Sadiq, look for them to even think about that or even flirt with that even more. All they're going to do is call up and see what they need for him, and that's it. Look for that man to definitely be an option for Howie because everybody's one. Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, everybody's gotten the call from everyone. Literally everyone. So that's just how we can do anything. Then we're talking about the guy you know is going to come. I think he's going to come for sure. He's almost as sure as AJ Brown leaving because they love this guy. Jonathan Gennard. This guy here, oh yeah, he's going to be Eagle, man. They love this guy, man. They keep on going after him. They keep asking about him. This one guy here, Jonathan Gennard, this is the big guy everyone's talking about before or maybe during the draft. Jonathan Gennard, defensive end. Super, super talent. And one thing's for sure, Eagles looking for a pass rusher. Eagles brought in Keldrick Falk for a visit. Him and Jordan Tyson both got top 30 visits. Keldrick Falk, the 6'6", 275. Oh, my God. Talking about like 7.5 sacks. Freak of nature. Put him on the defensive line. That's the best player available thing again. And look out for Ruben Bain Jr. Ruben Bain got in this car accident thing. And Ruben Bain, you know how they go with Jalen Carter, how people are thinking he can go down and fall. It's one of those unfortunate things. He did nothing wrong, but listen, when you get in some trouble, it's just how it goes. If you get hurt, get in some trouble, or you do bad in your workouts, interviews, all that could make you go down. It's just how it is. And all of a sudden he got in his trouble and it's the red flags going up. People put the Eagles into that circumference of maybe they might draft Ruben Bain. Yeah. That's how the Eagles are. How Jahad Campbell, nobody knew. Nobody thought that Jahad Campbell was even going to be a purpose as a target. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, we on Cool Cat channel. We on Hardcore Sports Network channel. So
yeah, because I saw my channel when I was about to get myself dressed and get myself ready for breakfast.
Well,
and then I saw.
Get off this channel. Right here in the Foul Leader Sports. Everybody knows that we doing the Cool Cat said, woke up and he wanted to get in. If you got to get ready for work and you ain't got to do the football, then what are you doing here with people working? What are you doing? All right. But listen,
I'm not rocking with you, bro. I stopped everything because I saw
my guy, Cool Cat, my man. We here on Foul Leader Sports, getting things down. Everybody on Cool Cat channel, we are tuned in. And we here, and let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles on this mark. Now, this is crazy. This is crazy. Right here, unbelievable to look at. My guy, South Chase Sr., we got to put this out there. How y'all talking about he wasn't good when Jalen Hurts, he had his best years? He had his best years. He had his best years. Best years. 2 Super Bowls. All Pro 3 times. Over 1,000 yards 4 times. Double-digit wins. That's crazy. That's crazy. Double-digit wins. 4 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowls, 1 win. I just think people are just going crazy. And then I just want to say to the Eagle fans, man, come on, calm down. He's still your brother. He's an Eagle. He's a Bird Gang Eagle. Jalen Hurts is a Bird Gang Eagle. He's an Eagle. Bird Gang. Bird Gang. So why we got to, I mean, I just think, but Philadelphia is emotional, you know what I mean? They're emotional city. Like, oh, excuse me. He's an emotional city like that, man. Like, this is what it is. We are all about sports. We all about winning. We all about coaching. So I understand why people is like that, but y'all got to quit, man. Stop, man. I mean, everybody was all for him. They didn't believe he was going to get traded. They didn't even believe he was going to get traded. They didn't even believe he was going to get traded, man. They did not believe he was going to get traded. So now they coming out and they just going crazy. Shout out to Key. Shout out to Thomas R. Peterson. Those are my fam, Bird Gang. But y'all got to stop, man. Listen, he wanted to leave. There's no reason you should be like he betrayed us. He didn't betray you. He just don't like where he at. He didn't say nothing about the fans, nothing about the city of Philly. He didn't betray nobody. He just wanted to leave. I'm telling you, the only reason why people is mad because it's the only reason why people mad. Shout out, everybody just tuning in. What's going on? Folly the Sports, your host with the most. So have a toast, Leader Johnson. We are talking about the Eagles draft. Listen, the only reason why people was mad because they made a prediction that he wouldn't get traded, and he ended up getting traded. They made a prediction. They said, "Yo, he's not getting traded. Yo, y'all tripping. Well, he's gonna stay here. He's not going nowhere. Look what I remember when Cool Cat, we on Broad Street Blitz take Leader Edition. He like, look what he put, Leader. He put the posters up. And I remember I'm excited and I'm home. But what else is he gonna put? I think that's one reason y'all could be like, oh, you said you were excited, you home. That don't mean he was happy. I could tell you that. Look at Howie Roseman. Why won't you be mad at why y'all gotta be mad at Howie for trading him? That's the first thing. How mad are y'all? Howie Roseman said he's an Eagle, and he was an Eagle. But now it's came out that he's looking at trades for A.J. Brown, which means he's going to trade A.J. Brown after June 1st. It might, the only thing that's not sure is it going to be the Patriots? It could be anybody. Say somebody come with a better deal than that. He's not going. But the thing is this, and Howie Roseman, they said the same thing about Carson Wentz getting traded and where he wanted to go, and they put him there. They want to make him happy. That's why I feel like Elijah Moore will be included in the trade package. That's his friend. You put him in New England with A.J. Brown. That'll make him happy. That'll have a close friend with him and deal with whatever mental issues is going on. One guy that helped him. I think that's going to happen because a lot of people was like, he was traded for A.J. Brown. If we trade A.J. Brown and do we still draft a receiver, do we really still need Elijah Moore? I just don't. I think then you still got Darius Cooper and Johnny Wilson. I feel like Elijah Moore will not. Excuse me. I feel like I feel like Elijah Moore will not be there. For what? What are you keeping him for? I don't see that. Once again, we go back. Kyle Pitts. We go back to Kyle Pitts. We had Cool Cat come in, man, and say, do you think the Eagles are really good? They're going to have to give a lot. No, where did you get Cool Cat? What did you get? How much you think they're going to have to give up? Check this out. Kyle Pitts is on the trading block. They're trying to ship him. So that's when it goes down. When you're trying to ship him, they haven't put out a stipulation or they were trying to trade him last year. This is just not working out. You can't say A.J. Brown, he hasn't gotten to that point yet. of AJ Brown. You know, Kyle Pitts has not gotten to AJ Brown type. He has the talent, but he hasn't got to the status. He hasn't got, how many Pro Bowls has he been in? Like, seriously, how many Pro Bowls has he been in? But he's a superstar. You go to Philly, everything's changing. Everything changes. He goes to Philly, everything changes. Without any doubt. He's going to be fed the ball. He had 88 receptions last year, 928 yards, his best year. He's shown everything. You go to Philly, it's on. And one thing is what they're now. The thing is not to say they're going to get him, because maybe they don't have enough to get him. But they're definitely, if they want him, they're going to give up. Listen, if they want him, they're going to give it up. And what you think? What do y'all think it takes to get Kyle Pitts? You give a package of picks, you can get Kyle Pitts, because you know you're going to have to pay him. One thing about Atlanta, they know you're going to have to pay him. They want to pay Bijan Robinson. That's one thing. It's other guys they want to pay. It's a reason why Kyle Pitts is on the trade block. I know y'all like, oh, no. You got to go in. You got to go in deep. Then my guy, Cool Cat, you know, he's one of the, you know what I mean? That's my guy, man. He's so great in Eagle sports. But you got to go deep. You got to do your homework. This guy is not going to be, he's not going to take like a Jalen Waddle deal to get him. Somebody could give something out, but a first round pick, and they're talking about first round pick, they're talking about picks. Talk about picks, could be a player. They're not going to say, hey, give us a first round pick or he's not going. That's not how it's going. He's not that type of player. It's not that market. You can give a second round pickup and some picks and get Kyle Pitts. That's just what's going on right now. I'm just telling you the actual truth what's going on. But, you know, shout out to Cool K. You know what it is, man. He looks at things. He said, this guy's good. This guy's good. But now look at him on the trading block. And the thing is like this. They're going to want what they want. So if the Eagles don't want to give it up, they don't think that. But he could be an option to put with Dallas Goedert. Could definitely be an option to put with Dallas Goedert if they do not. If they go around and mess around and draft Chris Bell, or they go in the third and fourth round to get receivers, Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts. Jonathan Gennard, another guy that I feel like makes our defense crazy, super crazy. Then we go to this part here, which I feel like is very important to see. This was Chase Senior's mock draft. Keldrick Faulk. It's a situation where the Eagles go get Keldrick Faulk. It's a situation where they go get Keldrick Faulk because he came in for a top 30 visit. So if Keldrick falls to 18, there's a possibility Keldrick Faulk could be an Eagle, because Keldrick Faulk is a different dude. He's a top 10 talent type of guy, but he's one of them guys that's going to fall. Just like Ione could fall. You know, Vegas Ione is another guy that they brought in for a top 30 visit. That's another guy Bray brought in for a top 30 visit. But they could get Caleb Lemieux. That's another guy. Could they trade up? No, I think he's a fall guy if he falls there. Ione they'll trade up for. Caden Proctor, it's a possible they trade up for him. He's one of those special guys. Max, Anchor, excuse me. If I said that name wrong, Max Anchor, Arizona State, 6'6", 330, offensive tackle, did a great job at the combine, and they like him. I think he's another guy they could trade up to like 18 for. But Kenyon Sadiq, 15 to 18. Those are the two. 15, they could trade up to 15 or 18. And if they don't get Kenyon Sadiq, listen, it's 1 year left on Dallas Goedert contract. And Kyle Pitts is on the trading block. Anybody on the trading block? Oh, yeah. Howie Rosemond's in there. Ain't like he ain't called about him before. Are they going to pay Dallas Goedert, or are they going to pay a younger tight end? See, I think Dallas Goedert, and I'm hoping it could be an extra year, couple years, but Dallas Goedert, I think this is a 1 year rental. I mean, you're looking at trying to draft a tight end, because that would be like drafting for a need. And the guys they got, Stone Smart, Johnny Munt, them guys are not really, they don't have starters experience. They're looking at them for their athletic ability. Munt can block. You know, they're looking at that point. Stone Smart is a very athletic tight end. They're trying to see what he has and if he can make the team. So they look at their situation and you say, we're not certified there. We don't like drafting for need. Even now, they don't reason they filled up their receiving room because they don't want to draft for need. They don't want to have Johnny Wilson and Darius Cooper being their options with Devontae Smith. So they're like, okay, we're going to crowd it up with Dontavian. Dontavian has experience, played with the lead quarterback. You got Elijah Moore. He's played with the lead quarterback. You got Hollywood Brown. He's played with the lead quarterback before. Y'all want to know who that is? Hollywood Brown played with Lamar Jackson, had 1,000 yards, 800-yard season, 1,000-yard season also. Elijah Moore has had 100-catch seasons with 100 target seasons with Josh Allen in the Buffalo Bills. Dontavian Wicks has been very productive, and people talk about him. Listen, I look at Dontavian Wicks. I've seen him play and all that, but I didn't really zero in. So I did my homework. As great as he was at Virginia, super tape, at a super year, best receiving season arguably in Virginia University history. Then comes to the Green Bay Packers. He comes to the Green Bay Packers. And then the Green Bay Packers make him an option. They had a real deep receiving room. That's another thing. I'm saying one thing on Broad Street Blitz State Leader Edition. If you're looking at it, the Packers had a deep receiving room. They had Jaden Reed with Romeo Doubs, with Dontavian Wicks, Matthew Golden this year. So many guys that was there producing. But now you look at the Eagles, look how deep they are in receivers. Look at them. Let's go down the line. And we're going to exit out A.J. Brown. I'm doing that for a reason because he's not going to be here. Until he's here, and even after June, if he's here after June 1st, then that's different. Then we can include him in. But right now, he's not here. And everybody's talking about it. Now, everybody's like, oh, the Eagles are making it bad because even LaShawn McCoy, as a player, knows this is going to happen. You're a player. You know how things move. Now, when they hear from Shefty, they like, at first they were just trying to comment on it not happening because behind they knew that stuff was being talked about, but they're not certifying y'all. They know when the news comes out, they can begin talking about it. So when Shefty came out and clarified it, there you go. There it is. Now everybody's putting opinions about it. I think it's just crazy how this Eagle fans, I just say chill, man. I mean, he didn't, but it's going to be a minute. This is how Eagle fans act. It's Philly fans. They take things personal, man. If they egg Mitch Williams' house at the 93 World Series for giving the home run to Joe Carter, all right? Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz had a hurt shoulder. They ain't want to hit it. They wanted to rush that man. The superstar. Ben Simmons done his whole career is down by Philadelphia. If you're not strong, you cannot come to Philly. I think AJ Brown, and I'm just trying to say this to be real, and I say this to shoot shots at anyone. I think AJ Brown's mental issues affected him in Philly because Philly's a hard town to be raised in, to live in. You know, that's one thing. Even if you're in the good areas, and people just have a certain demeanor, and if you're not used to it, ain't nobody gonna shout at you. Say you're in an area where it's good. Ain't like they just gonna come mess with you. But when you're in the confrontation with them, they might be a certain way. That's a little thorough. Thorough Philly. It's just regular. You know what I mean? So now you're looking at AJ Brown, and he's looking at all this. Like AJ Brown never got it though. I never seen where he got any backlash from Philly for doing anything. He got nothing but love. But some might have been said. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to cater to, I'm hearing the mental issues and what Elijah Moore had helped him with. So I said, man, maybe how Philly is just too much. I mean, they have booed around halftime before. Philly is just Philly, man. So once again, for those who have just tuning in, we are here at Follow Your Sports, and we are talking the Philadelphia Eagles draft. One of the guys say, number one, I talked to a Cool Cat when he came in. He said, "You're on my channel." Hey, yeah, man, we letting your people see it. We letting everything see it. Everybody gonna see it. What's up? Everybody, shout out to Cool Cat. It's draft time, so I invade. Here we go. Carnell Tate is the first guy. What I say this for is that Carnell Tate is predicted to be drafted Anywhere between 3 and 10 or 3 and 7. That's the mark for him, man. And the Philadelphia Eagles are known for getting the best player available. They're known. So if he falls to number 6, bottom line, if Cardinal Tate falls to number 6 and the Cleveland Browns want to trade out of number 6 down, and Andrew Berry and Howie Roseman are good friends, everybody think that was about Myles Garrett. No. It could have been about that 6th pick all along. So I'm really looking at that. The Giants at number 10 want Jordan Tyson. The Eagles are eyeing Jordan Tyson. So we know they're eyeing an elite receiver. And they've been predicted to go as high as 8 because New Orleans wants to trade down. The Kansas City Chiefs at 9 want to trade up to number 3. Okay, so and the Redskins is another team looked at number 7 to go for a receiver. They're predicted to get Tate. So number 6 is something to watch for. And who goes to number 3 is what we got to watch for also. If the Chiefs, Giants, Commanders, any of them trade up to number 3, they're going for Tate. If none of them, nobody trade up to number 3 in their point, I think the Eagles could mess around and trade up to number 6 and get Cardinal Tate. Now, Jordan Tyson is the guy that they're aiming for. He's a guy that could drop up to 8. People are looking at 10, where the Giants want to be at. Giants might try to trade up to try to get Tyson. They really covet Tyson. They really like Downs. The Eagles really like Tyson. The Eagles are a team that wants to trade up. If they don't get Tyson or get Tate, I see them around 15 to 18 trading up for Sadiq. Kenyon Sadiq, tight end. Big time weapon. If they don't get Kenyon Sadiq, Kyle Pitts has been rumored in this draft to be traded during the draft. At least at the most quickest moment during the draft. But for sure, it can leak out into the offseason. During the draft, if they do not, if Kenyon Sadiq is on their board, why wouldn't Kyle Pitts? I'm just saying, if they don't trade a first-round pick, it's a possibility. You know what? Let me be a little bit more thoughtful. It's a possibility that Kyle Pitts could be traded for a first-round pick. It's a possibility. If the Eagles wait to like 15 or 18, they're not giving up a first-round pick. If they, I mean by 15 or 18, they wait to the 15th or 18th pick to trade up. They're not giving up a first-round pick to trade up. So they'll have a first-round pick to give. Because they're going to get a first-round pick for A.J. Brown. So they'll have 2 first-round picks in 2027. So you're talking about giving up. Man, listen. You think the Eagles ain't going to do that? Or they can't. Or they can't do that. I was saying that, he come in. I'm like, all right, he come in with the invasion, right? My boy Cool Cat, shout out to the Broad Street family. My boy Cool Cat, come on. I'm on the horn. Yeah, man. You on Candy Camera, man. Follow Leader Sports, man. Yeah, I'm tagging on to what's up, all Cool Cat fans, man. We here. It's the NFL draft. So now, come on. He said, you think the Eagles can really go for Kyle Pitts? Yes. That would be an option. And nobody's saying they're going to just go get him and nab him. Now, hold on. We're talking like analysts now. We're talking like writers. Now I'm talking like certified podcasters now. Now, Cool Get a certified podcaster. I'm a writer and a podcaster. It's different. So we talking certified. All right. Kyle Pitts we don't know if he's going to get traded, but he's going to be an option. Because if they're going for Kenyon Sadiq and he's an option, that means they want 2 tight ends. And then they're not going to have the first round pick to even play with until after the draft to get Kyle Pitts or during the draft. This is a Howie Roseman thing. So he's definitely going to be an option. There's no question about that. Now, this is the guy I think they'll walk away to draft with, Jonathan Grenard. They're going to walk away in the draft with Jonathan Grenard at defensive end, edge rusher for the Eagles. It's definitely going to happen. We also talked about, Keldrick Faulk. Shout out to Chase Sr. Y'all go watch Eagles Chat now. Keldrick Faulk, big time talent. Ted Hurst He's a guy the Eagles like. He's a wide receiver that's been rumored. They really like Jalen Kilgore, another guy. He can play cornerback and safety. He's kind of like a Malcolm Jenkins guy that the Eagles could definitely nab. He was a top 30 visit guy. So that's a good looking draft to look at. And I think no question that is a you look at Keldrick Faulk, if you put him in that line, that's dynamic. And that just lets you know where Moro Ojomo is going. I'm just following the train. Yo, look what happened to Jahad Nakobe Dean. Look what happened to Carson Wentz. This is not something that doesn't happen, man. This happens. Once they got Makuba, they knew they could move on from Reed Blankenship. They had a dynamic safety back there. Listen, this is what Howie Roseman does. Y'all had to start believing what happens. You see his reality right now. This is definitely what's going to happen. Looking at offensive linemen, how we going to flex that? How we going to flex that, y'all? The first round could be a receiver. But if it's not a receiver in the first top 20 picks, it could also be offensive lineman. If Keon Sadiq is drafted before all that, because a lot of people think that the Chiefs could get him at number 9. These are guys that are all top 10 talents we're talking about the Eagles want to trade up for. At 18, I could see them going up to Keldrick Faulk. At 15, I would be surprised, but not surprised. But that means they really, if they go up to 15 to get them, that means they really wanted them. But in the top 20, man, that means Ojomo, what kind of contract is he going to sign? You got a first-round pick. Are you going to sign a Jomo, or y'all moving on from a Jomo so y'all want to pay him their contract money because, you got to pay Carter that money? I mean, it could be Keldrick Faulk and then bye-bye. You just gave Jordan Davis that money, got to get Carter that money. They don't want to give a Jomo that money, so they want to have a replacement. That is also something they're looking at, I'm telling you. You about to give Carter all this money. Then you about to get Grenard. Look, if they trade for Grenard, they talk to his agent about an extension. So that's what has to happen. That's what's going to happen. They trade for Grenard. He just got a short term. They're going to make sure they don't get in the Jalen Phillips situation again. They're going to have him already in extension. Max Crosby and Myles Garrett. You want to talk about those guys? Do I think they're options? They're always options because y'all don't understand. This is what y'all got to understand. If you're on the trade block and you can be used, you look at the team, Howie is going to call about you. There's no doubt. Everybody says Howie's always calls about every trade. There's no doubt Howie's calling about trades. He's not even going to do. He's going to see what they up for. I just heard that Micah Parsons went for this and that, even though he really engaged in those trades. He really engaged in them. He really engaged in those talks. It was talking about Jalen. They was talking about Jalen Carter, and it was off. Then everybody tried to say, "Oh, Jalen Carter, he's gonna be on the." No, he's not on the trade block, man. That's why I say Philly's emotional. As soon as they heard that they asked for Jalen Carter, they just thought, "Oh, Philly's gonna trade you." No, they didn't try to trade him. Dallas asked for him. Love Philly. That's this. It's a hometown, birthplace. Man. No doubt. Philadelphia, everything fan, but man, the fans are super emotional. Even some of the analysts are emotional. I remember Reuben Frank, shout out to Reuben Frank, man. Jalen Carter got drafted, and they had the interview post-draft. And next thing you know, after the interview post-draft, he asked him about his situation in the accident. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Why would he ask him that? Why would you ask about his accident? I mean, it was like about the car accident, about the guy. Right now, the man just got drafted. Why would you ask him about that? And it was real sensitive joint thing to ask a person when they just getting drafted. And the person, he died. So you just got to understand, listen, looking at how Philadelphia is drafted, where they're going to go, offensive line is a priority. And that's why they brought so many guys in, because they know Lane Johnson's probably right on his last year like Jason Kelce was. But it's not like they're going to go in the first round. It's not the priority point. They can go to the second round, third round. Listen, Khalib Lamu can fall to the second round. He's one of those guys. So can Max. Even though he was great at the pro day, I mean, at his combine, at the pro day, he did great things. Max is a guy that out of Arizona State, the guy, I don't say his name right. It starts with the I Anchor. I gotta get it right. After this draft, I'm gonna get it right, man. But Max was a big time guy there. And he made it happen. And now the Philadelphia Eagles are looking at him. Anybody that breaks the combine, the Eagles love. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Keely Ringo, Nolan Smith. If you ace the combine, you're high on the Eagles draft board, big time. Some guys look at you and they say, that's a good thing for you. But that's not the big thing they look for in drafting a player. The Eagles look for you to ace the combine. You ace the combine, they're looking at you. Oscar Delp got a visit. He was a 4-4 as a tight end. You got to do something at the combine big time. They're going to look at you, and they're going to, especially the Eagles now, because they don't draft for need. They don't draft for need. They don't draft for need, man. So looking at how big things are and where things have continued to go with the Eagles, I just feel that point. And listen, man, it's out. Look, we're going to get out of here, man. I can go all day about the draft. Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to Cool Cat for coming in. Coming through on Foul Leader Sports. He tried to Broad Street Blitz take it. Foul Leader Sports, man. That's what we do all the time. Yo, we here, man. Listen, I'm going to see y'all after the draft. We got Chris Franklin on High Level Sports Talk. Scheduling it, man, next Friday. Chris Franklin will be on High Level Sports Talk. I could have another guest. High Level Sports Talk. We're about to get big on House Score Sports Network. We out, man.